you say ring me whenever.
I feel bad texting you. I'm always texting you and ringing you.
Yeah. What's that guy who Alex is fighting called?
David Howell.
David Howell. Howell. I don't say I've seen him, but I just know his bloody name. David Howell.
I think he came here on this post, I think. How far did we get? We didn't get far, did we?
No.
Right, Scott. Yeah, we were talking about Alex Hibbs' possible next opponent on the 27th up at Barnsley.
Yeah, he's supposed to be boxing a guy called David Howe. I've actually seen him. He's had two, won, lost one. The one he lost was a knockout loss, and he lost to a kid who also stopped Alex. So Alex would have a good chance of beating this kid. I think it is a 50-50 bout because the size of the guy's really tall. I think he's about 6'6", so he's a really tall lad. But Alex got a lot of strength behind him and can get close to him, and that can get the decision in his favour and come out with a good win there.
Stoke in the Fire was a great night for everyone involved. Scott Miller has been signed by Frank Maloney, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, straight out, before the fight, I said to Frank, we've got a lad named Scott Miller who's like really good kid, and I think you enjoy the way he boxes, because I know Frank is like a fighter's fighter. And straight after the fight, we went back to the hotel and we were having a chat, and he says he wants to do some kind of deal, like some kind of either 3 or 4 fight deal with Scott Miller. So that's where we are with that now. So looks like Scott will be boxing for Frank in the future.
You've been to the doctor this week about your elbow. How's that come out, and what's the news on a possible fight with John Murray?
The Murray fight, that's still in the pot, that is. I don't think I'll leave anything about that for another month yet. I think because obviously he boxes on ITV, and ITV have got a few dates, and they've got other fighters who've got to box before John's got box again. So I won't see that for about a month. But my arm, I've been to see about my arm, and I've got some loose bits of bone in there, and one of the pieces might be a bit difficult to get out. They're on about having to cut through a muscle to get to it. So I aren't too sure if we will actually be having the operation on it or not, because the doctor actually said it might be worse after than what it is now. It's been freed up quite a lot since I last boxed, having physio on it, and now they actually know what the problem is. They've been able to do some kind of moves on it, what does free it up a little bit. So he's told me to have another week out, see how it feels, start back training. If it goes again on me, he'll do the operation. He says, but if he can get away with not doing it, we best leaving it.
So that's good news for you, really.
Yeah.
Also, we've been in the gym tonight and we've seen Taz and Mendes from the University Boxing Club. Can you tell us what they're doing here and putting them through their paces? Yeah,
but both of the fighters have been talking about turning pro in the future, and they both come to us the other day and basically says, like, we're looking forward to boxing pro. Could we join you? I've known Mendes and Taz for quite a bit now, and I know that they put 110% in everything they do, and as long as they do that with us, we'll do that with them, and I think they've both got good futures ahead of them.
Quick word on what's going to happen here on the 28th. We've seen Les Potts down here, and he's from the Boxing Board of Control. What's going to be happening here?
For the first time ever, there's going to be like a training course for boxers for people who want to get trainers' licenses and stuff. I mean, back in the day, you just went and had an interview, and if you could answer the questions rightly, then you would get a professional boxing badge. Where in the amateurs, you have to go on a 3 or 4 day course, and it was a lot harder to get. So the boxing board have sat down and they decided that it would be better if they could vet the people who were going to get these badges. So the first one they're doing in this gym in Stoke, because we actually helped them with the pilot course, and we give them a few suggestions. So from the future, like from now on, like in the future, most of them training courses are going to be set in Impact Boxing Gym. So we're quite looking forward to it, really.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Quick word about Joe Calzaghe. First time I came and spoke to you, I asked you about your sports personality of the year.
Yeah.
You said Joe Calzaghe. How surprised are you that he's decided to call it a day?
I was very surprised, really. I think he's made the right decision. I think finish-wise on top, that's good. I wasn't sure if he was going to try and get them extra couple of fights in to try and beat Rocky Marciano's records, but he said it all. He's done everything he's wanted to achieve in boxing and probably more, and he's the undisputed world champion. He's one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world, and he hasn't really got anyone else to beat. So I think he's made a good decision.
From a professional boxer's point of view, how good was he? Is he the best British fighter there's ever been?
He's definitely up there. He's probably the most successful one, isn't he? But yeah, I think he probably would be the best one, because you have to go on what they've done, and he's beat all the top lads at his weight. So you got to say he is probably the best one out there.
If the money was right and the opponent was there, if you were in his shoes, could you be tempted back into the ring?
Well, you won't get me fighting him, but no, I mean, the only one big fight out there I see for him would be a rematch with Bruno Hopkins, and he's already beaten once, so I don't think Joe's short of a quid or two anyway. So I don't think he'll come back now. Now he's made his decision.
Okay, well, that's brilliant. That's all.